Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. I'm going to start this video by giving a shout out, and the shout out is to Cole's Comic Claims, and he had a contest on his channel that I was fortunate enough to win, and my reward showed up in the mail today. I want to share that with everybody. He sent me a letter. Congrats on your first YouTube win, and hopefully this is just the start. Thank you for supporting the channel, and hopefully you enjoy Outcast, Cole. And what I won was this comic right here called Outcast. And from what Cole was telling me, this is, yeah, it even says it on the back, this is written by the creator, Walking Dead creator, Robert Kirkman. So this should be a pretty interesting comic to get into, and I'm looking forward to looking at it here in the next couple weeks. So thank you very much, Cole. He also threw in a couple of items for his channel. I showed you his sticker right here, and got a really cool magnet. And this is really cool. He even sent me a pin. So thank you very much, Cole. I really appreciate this. Oh, also, he sent me this really cool Artie the Announcer card. It's got a sticker on the back right there. Pretty cool. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed to Cole's Comic Claims, go over and check out his channel. He's got tons of videos on comics, obviously. He also rips sports cards, and I think I saw a couple pops on his channel. So if you're into any of that stuff, go over there, check it out. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the content. Thank you very much, Cole. And so this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm still waiting, and I'm sorry if you've been waiting for some new content for my channel. For whatever reason, the stuff that I've ordered late in June, early July, it's just lagging through the mail. I've got 3 stacks of cards that are waiting for other cards to show up so I can start a video, and they just are taking forever to get here. And you know, I'm trying to be patient, but also I wanted to put out some new content. So this video is going to be a little bit different. A couple weeks ago, I was watching a channel, and they were showing some Star Wars figures, and I made a comment. I said I've got a pretty good size Star Wars action figure collection, and they mentioned that they wanted to see it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to show some of my I mean, I guess they're not quite vintage, but original trilogy Star Wars action figures. And I'm going to give another shout out. This is the 23 Munch. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go check it out. He does sports card rips. He's into comics. He's into action figures. He's into all sorts of stuff. So go over there and check out his channel. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy the content over there as well. But for this video, I'm going to show basically action figures from A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. These figures came out when I was a young child. The original movie came out the year I was born. In fact, A New Hope was released like 2 or 3 weeks before I was born. So, you know, I grew up with Star Wars, and I just love the series. I've had my moments with the prequels and the sequels, and you know, kind of a love-hate relationship with those, but the original trilogy will always hold a special place for me. And so in about 2017, I don't know if it was a midlife crisis or something like that, but I got this kind of yearning to revisit my childhood, and I enjoyed playing with these Star Wars action figures so much, I just started picking them up here and there. And I ended up collecting, I don't know, I think there's about 25 or 26 original figures before prices started to kind of skyrocket. And at that point, I stopped buying, the original trilogy, and kind of switched my focus over to the Black Series, and then eventually I went over to the vintage collection and started buying some of that stuff. So maybe at the end of this video I'll kind of show you my setup with that. I'll have to take my camera off my I don't know, it's not a tripod, but I guess my holder, and kind of show you that. But the main focus is going to be on these original figures. And so let me go ahead and get started. All of these are all original. They have original weapons. They're all complete, and they're in fairly decent shape. But I'll start off with this Obi-Wan Kenobi with the gray hair and the original lightsaber, and it's pretty tight. It's got pretty tight limbs, so pretty decent condition, certainly for its age. Now I don't know how to tell if these came out in 77, 80, or 83, or I guess within that time frame. I guess the original ones came out in 78, but I don't know how to tell one way or the other. So all I know is this is from one of the 3 movies, and I've got them standing on these little plastic stands, so they stand up relatively easily. Alright, let me move this one out of the way. Next, I've got the Darth Vader. Again, it's in pretty nice shape. No rips in the cape or anything like that. Next, we've got the big head Han Solo. There's also a little head. Again, this is relatively tight. Doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford. And next, we've got Chewbacca. Oh. And this leg is a little wobbly, but it stands up pretty well. The arms are nice and tight. Doesn't have a whole lot of paint loss on it either, so pretty happy with this one. These bowcasters can kind of get expensive. I'm going to end up running out of room if I don't stand these up, so give me a second to stand these up over here on the side. There we go. Alright, next we've got a C-3PO. This one kind of has a floppy leg, but arms are nice and tight. He doesn't hold on to his stand very well, but pretty happy with the condition of this one. These are all 3.75 inch. This one's probably the one that's in the worst condition, and it was also the first one I bought. This one's nice and floppy. This is the Death Star droid, and it's got some pretty severe paint loss. You can hardly see the black on his sides. The eyes are almost completely faded. At some point I'll probably replace this one. I'm not really happy with it, but it was the first one that I bought when I decided to start picking these up, so I guess it's got a little bit of sentimental value. Not much. I wouldn't have a problem moving on from this one. And next we've got R5-D4, and these decals can be a pain to find in real nice condition, so I'm kind of happy with this one. It's a little bit faded, but age of this. It could be anywhere between 35 and 45 years old. So I'm pretty happy with it. Still clicks. Alright. Next we've got who I know as Hammerhead. I guess it's like Mama Nadal or something like that, but he'll always be Hammerhead to me. That's what it said on the original packaging. I used to love this figure when I was a kid. And the paint job on this, it still looks really nice. Nice clear eyes. Nice and tight. There's this weapon. If prices hadn't continued to kind of skyrocket, I would have continued to buy these and tried to collect them all. And I still might try to collect them all, but I'm certainly in a holding pattern. I haven't bought anything since mid to late 2020. So here is the Luke Skywalker with the Hoth outfit. Got his weapon draped over his shoulder. This one's nice and tight as well. Pretty good paint job on the face. And this was the first, I think it might be the only, yeah, it's the only Luke that I have. His, whatever it is it the Tatooine outfit or something like that from the original A New Hope. That one's super expensive. It was before prices even started to go up, so I kind of settled for this one. And doesn't really look like him, but I know it's Luke Skywalker, so that's all that matters. And next we've got the Han Solo in the Hoth outfit with the blue gun. Another one that's in really nice shape. Nice paint. This one kind of has a hard time holding on to his gun. Alright. Next we've got the Rebel Commander. Same as Luke, I've got his weapon draped over his shoulder. Pretty nice shape. And, bought this one at the exact same time. This is the Rebel Soldier. Blue gun. These are nice and tight. After that first Death Star droid, I realized that loose limbs was going to be a problem, so I made sure that when I was reading the description, I wouldn't buy one unless it said something about the limbs, where it was describing if they were loose or tight or something like that. I was super picky. So just about every one of them that I got has limbs right where I want them to be, nice and tight. So, all right. Next, we've got FX7. I've got him posing with all of these little, whatever you want to call them, arms hanging off. That doesn't stay up. I don't know if it originally did or not, but all of these are nice, stay in place, and it does have this arm. There's quite a few of them with that thing missing, so I think this was the last one. And for whatever reason, I was able to hold on to it the longest. I had this for probably until I was a mid-teenager, and it was sitting in a box of baseball cards, sports cards, and I don't know what happened to that one, but all the other Star Wars figures either got sold at a garage sale or given to friends, or I don't know, I probably destroyed them with rocks or some other stuff that kids would do, you know, but this one kind of survived everything, and I was kind of happy to pick it back up. Alright, next we've got Bosk. Now, when I won this one, they were claiming that this was owned by somebody that worked at Kenner. Now, there's no way to prove that other than taking the person's word for it. Regardless, it's in really nice shape, and if this was owned by somebody from Kenner, that just makes it even cooler. But if I were to move on from this, I wouldn't even mention that because I have no way to prove it. But it is still kind of a cool story. Got that one. And another bounty hunter, Dengar. Quite a few of these I never had when I was a kid. I was just kind of picking them up when I could, when the price was right. I never had this Dengar, so this is the first one I've ever owned, but it's kind of a cool figure. It's a gigantic weapon he's got there. He holds on to it pretty well too. Alright. Next we've got Lando Calrissian. This is the one where his teeth are not showing. Maybe they are showing. So this is the one with the teeth showing, I guess. He's got one where his teeth aren't showing. This one looks like it's the one where he is showing. Cape's in real nice shape. No tears. Blue gun. Yeah. Nice figure. And we've got Leia Organa in the Bespin gown. Gown's in nice shape. And got the blue gun. The reason I don't have the Princess Leia from A New Hope is that the blue gun, or the blue gun is I think from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but her weapon in the black color is from A New Hope, and that thing almost goes for like $80. So if I want the original figure with the original weapon, I'm gonna pay a premium for it, and I never was willing to pay for that. So this was the first Leia that I was able to pick up. But at least I was able to pick up a Leia, and I'm happy with this one too. This was one of my favorites when I was a kid. So happy to have this. It's got a little bit of paint issue with the feet. I don't know if you can see that, but that's okay. And the kind of the lining or whatever right here is a little bit faded, but that's okay. Looks like my cat's talking. All right, this next one, this was always a favorite of mine when I was a kid. This is the C-3PO with the detachable limbs, and this case is in real nice shape. I don't think it's ever been used, but you could remove all the limbs and stick them in that bag and throw them on the back of Chewbacca. I always thought that was cool. This is a little bit loose, but it's not too bad. And I just love this figure so much. I was willing to go ahead and get it with a little bit of defect, I guess, but it stands up nice, and it's otherwise in pretty nice shape. The limbs are fairly tight. This one's a little wobbly, but it's hard to get the droids, especially these type of droids with tight limbs. So I'm still very satisfied with this one. And let me go ahead and put that down. Next, we've got the Ugnaught with the purple apron. In pretty nice shape. Now, I know they have this in a blue apron as well. I didn't really have a preference. I was more concerned about price, and I liked the price on this one, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's got nice paint. Nice tight arms. Alright, next we're moving into Return of the Jedi. And I'll go ahead and start with this one. This is in the pack Salacious Crumb from the Jabba the Hutt playset. Yeah, I know they found a stash of these maybe 15 years ago that were basically from the same mold of the original set, so I'm not sure if this is from the original Jabba the Hutt playset or if this is one of those from the original mold, but regardless, I was still really happy to be able to pick this up, still in the package, and add it to my collection. I always thought that this character was hilarious with his constant laughing and kind of mischievous behavior. So happy to add that one. And next we've got General Madine. And this one's got really tight limbs. No wobble at all. Nice paint. I mean, this almost looks like it was pulled out of a pack. There's a little bit of a chunk of paint taken out. But it does look almost pack fresh. So I was really happy with this one. Next, we've got everybody's favorite Admiral Akbar. There's a trap! Real nice paint. Next, we've got Weequay. Another figure with real nice paint. It's got a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, a little bit right there on the hands where he holds his weapon, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. A little bit right there on his shoulder. Alright, next we've got Reese. The black is almost perfect on the eyes. I'm surprised that's the first one that's fallen off, to be honest with you. Next, we've got the Emperor. Nice paint. Not a whole lot of chipping or anything on the hands at all. Nice and tight. Pretty good figure. Let me move that out of the way. Alright, I've got two more. We got Low Gray, the Medicine Man, with all of his accessories. Very nice paint. figure is Chief Chirpa. And this was kind of cool because when I won this one, they didn't mention it, but they ended up sending me a beat up card back with this figure. And so I was very appreciative of that because it just kind of took me back to my childhood. And it's in beat up shape, but it was still really cool to pick up without even really knowing it. And that's this right here. It's got creases all over it. This is, it looks like it was just kind of ripped off. It does have the sticker for the free Anakin. And it's kind of cool to have an original card back regardless. Especially with all the, what are they up to? 65. Collect all 65. And then you got your Anakin Skywalker right there. And it still has the proof of purchase that everybody would cut out to get figures like this. So really cool to be able to get this at no extra cost. It's just to throw in. So happy to have that. And the last piece I have to show is probably, I don't know if it was my favorite vehicle because you got the Millennium Falcon and you know, several other figures or several other vehicles, but I really enjoyed the speeder bike, and so I decided to pick this up. It is not complete. It does not have the handlebars and it does not have the flaps, but I always loved that you could push this button and then, you know, all of this would just explode. And I thought, you know, that was really cool. And so I wanted to pick one of these back up and put it into my collection. And I had planned on getting all the other parts. I'll do that later. I had planned on getting all the other parts to complete that, but I never got around to it because the parts are just so expensive. The flaps are almost $10, $15 a piece, and the handles $20 or so. So you know, you're looking at like $60 to complete it. What I liked about it is right there. So I didn't feel an immediate need to finish that. So it ended up being put on hold, and now I'm not sure if I'm ever going to do it. But you know, it'd be nice to be able to get those pieces at some point. Anyway, before I go, I want to give you a little bit of a view of what my display case looks like. So I'm going to disconnect my phone from its holder, and hopefully this doesn't make anybody sick. There we go. That wasn't so bad. So this is what I use. I use this little thing, and it just kind of hangs above. I'd like to get a better thing to record with, but that's what I have for right now. There's a couple cards that are waiting for me to get other stuff in the mail. This is my display. This is where my figures stay on my DTOF. Actually, let me back up. Let me show you this from far away. Show you the whole thing. Sorry, that shaking is annoying. So that's how I have it. So I've got two DTOFs back to back, sitting on a little stand. And I've got lighting around it, and I did a good job of covering up the wiring right here. And I've got a little bit of, right here, got a little bit of tape right there to keep the dust out. It does an okay job. It's not 100% because I've got dust on the bottom shelf, but for the most part it does a good job. So anyway, let me give you a real quick view of what I got in here. Hopefully I can keep this steady. So those are some vintage collection. There's I think it's a 3-pack in the back of the figures that go to the Tatooine skiff. Here's some Black Series, some of the deluxe characters. There's some Black Series right there. A couple of Ahsokas down here on the bottom shelf. And let me get down here on the floor so I can show you these. There we've got the Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight, Captain Rex, Lando. Bottom shelf we've got the Kylo Ren Centerpiece, and then the Tatooine Skiff. You saw the figures that I would have for that earlier. And let me go up to the one up here. So this is basically, those are, actually there's something really cool in here. Let me pull this out. Get in here real quick. I just got, this was probably the most recent one that I got. This one just came out. That's the Ahsoka from the Mandalorian with Grogu. Let me put this over here. This right here. I ordered this on Amazon and it came packaged unexpectedly. So this is the Han Solo and Carbonite, but he's upside down in the packaging. I think that's super cool. So I will never sell that. That's in my collection forever. Somebody might sell it when I move on, but that will stay in my collection forever. I think that's super cool. There can't be many of those like that. Anyway, let me go ahead and shut this. So we've got some figures with card backs up there, and then basically this is the start of this I guess they call it the red box Black Series. I didn't collect for the previous series, so I don't have any of that. Those are some of the archive figures. Go down to another grouping of Black Series. These are some of the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm ones. There's Echo. I think you can see Anakin and Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars right there. Some more Black Series. I always liked that Lando outfit. And then we've got some of the newer packaging. And down here we've got the Mace Windu and Janna and K2SO. So anyway, that's what I've got of those. I can kind of show you the side. These go back 5 deep. Every row, at least for the standard packaging. So they go back. I don't have the complete set. I've probably got, I don't know, 100 Black Series figures. By the looks of it, about 10 or 15 of the vintage collection. I mean, it's primarily Black Series, and then my collection of the original figures that you just saw. So anyway, that's my Star Wars collection. Let me go ahead and give you another shot from far away. Oh, I do have the two up on the top. So I've got this Darth Vader mask right there. I've opened it up. That's the one thing I have opened. Everything else is sealed. Never been touched. But I'm a school teacher, so I wear that to school during Halloween, and the kids love it. So that's been opened. But then I've also got this Enfys Nest swoop bike, which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, that's my collection. If you'd actually like to see the Black Series figures, I'm pretty sure there's a million channels showing this stuff. So I won't show that unless other people want to actually see my collection, because it is pretty big. So if you want to see it, leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to post that stuff. But yeah, that's my Star Wars setup. So anyway, thanks for spending over 30 minutes with me, and hopefully you liked checking out my Star Wars collection. But until I get my other cards in the mail, thanks for watching this video, and I'll talk to you again soon.